Have you ever wondered if your prayers are being heard? Have you ever bowed in front of a statue of Guanyin, hoping for peace, guidance, or protection, but left still feeling uncertain? What if the difference between silence and miracles is just one sacred phrase you've never known? Welcome back to the channel. I'm truly grateful you're here, because today's message has the power to shift your entire spiritual path. We're diving into a topic that's touched millions across centuries, and yet many still miss its core power. This isn't just about worship, it's about awakening a divine response from the universe through the right vibration, the right intention, and the right invocation. This video is all about how to worship Guanyin Bodhisattva with precision, heart, and ultimate effectiveness. More importantly, I'll reveal a sacred phrase, one that, when whispered with sincerity, can sift your karma, purify your path, and bring you blessings beyond what you can imagine. Let's begin with a truth often forgotten. Guanyin is not a distant deity waiting to judge you. He is an ever-present force of compassion, constantly listening, constantly responding, and not with words, but through signs, feelings, synchronicities, and intuitive clarity. But here's the key. Response depends on resonance. If your mind is clouded by doubt, if your heart is scattered, if your invocation is merely mechanical, then even the most powerful names will echo into silence. But when you align your intention with deep sincerity, even one phrase can open a flood of divine protection. Let's step into a story. There was once a woman named Len, a single mother raising 2 children in a small coastal town. Her life was a constant struggle, financial hardship, health issues, and loneliness. Every evening, he lit incense in front of Guanyin's image, bowed, and prayed. He did this every day for 3 years. Still, life didn't seem to change. One night, he visited an old temple far from home. An elderly nun approached her and asked, "When you pray, what do you say?" And replied, "I ask for peace, for healing, for help." The nun gently nodded and said, "Tonight, when you bow, whisper this phrase with all your heart, 'Guanyin, I return to your vow.'" And did as instructed. The moment he uttered the phrase, something shifted. He didn't see visions or hear voices, but deep within, he felt a profound peace he had never known. From that day on, her life began to change. Opportunities arose. Her children's health improved. He met new friends who supported her. He later said, "It was like I had been knocking on the door for years, and finally, someone opened it." So what changed? He aligned herself not just with Guanyin's image, but with Guanyin's vow, the sacred promise to respond to the cries of the world. You see, Guanyin's power doesn't come from ritual. It comes from relationship. The phrase, "I return to your vow," is not a magical incantation. It's a key. It tells the cosmos, "I'm not asking for favors, I'm aligning with the sacred mission of compassion." When you return to Guanyin's vow, you stop praying only for yourself. You start becoming a vessel for compassion too. And that's when the miracles begin. Let's go deeper. Guanyin's full title is Havalavachukas in Sanskrit, meaning "I'll one who hears the sea rise of the world." But the hearing isn't passive, it's active. He doesn't just hear, he responds. But her response is conditioned upon one thing, your sincerity. In the ancient texts, it said that even if a person is drowning in an ocean, facing death, if they call her name with genuine trust, he will appear. Does that mean he literally walks on water? Not always. It means that the moment of absolute sincerity unlocks inner clarity, and that clarity becomes your rescue. In today's world, people worship Guanyin for many reasons: love, wealth, healing, guidance, but very few worship her to embody her vow. And that's the secret. The phrase, Guanyin, I return to your vow, is a spiritual declaration. It says, I'm not just a seeker of help, I'm ready to become a channel of compassion. And when you say that sincerely, the spiritual dimension opens. You begin to feel protected to not just by Guanyin, but by the force of your own alignment. Let's consider another story. A man named John had been betrayed by his business partner. Bankrupt, humiliated, he turned to alcohol and despair. One night, he stumbled into a temple. While drunk, he collapsed in front of Guanyin's statue and cried uncontrollably. The monk on duty said nothing, but lit a candle and whispered, "Return to her vow." Shun didn't understand, but he repeated the phrase like a broken mantra. That was the turning point. Months later, sober and centered, he began volunteering at a shelter for those in need. He found joy again not from success, but from service. He later said, Guanyin didn't give me money, he gave me back my heart. That is real worship. Guanyin's path is not about superstition, it's about transformation. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to chant for hours, you just need to be real, be broken, be flawed, but be sincere. When you bow, say the name with love, say it like you're calling your own mother, let your heart crack open. And when you whisper, I return to your vow, feel your pain dissolve into something bigger. Because that vow is not just about Guanyin hearing you, it's about you hearing others. Guanyin does not rescue you to make you comfortable, he rescues you to make you compassionate. Now, let's talk about how to worship with this phrase. Create a quiet space, light a candle or incense. What is obligation, but is offering, and one slowly. And with each breath, repeat, Guanyin, I return to your vow. Do it slowly. Let the words soak in. With each repetition, imagine the suffering of the world, and not to overwhelm you, but to soften you. Then sit in silence. Don't expect anything, just listen. What you'll feel is subtle, warmth, stillness, presence. That's her. Over time, this practice changes you. You begin to feel more patient, more forgiving, more open. And the other blessings follow. Because your energy shifts, compassion becomes your magnet, integrity becomes your wealth. This is the real miracle. Not gold from the sky, but peace in your soul. So ask yourself, have you been worshiping with sincerity, or just wishing in desperation? Have you connected to her vow, or just begged for her favors? Both are human, both are understandable, but one leads to temporary comfort, the other leads to transformation. And in the end, that's what Guanyin wants, for you to become someone who no longer needs to cry for help, because you've become the hand that helps others. So today, begin again. Not just as a worshiper, but as a participant in the vow. Because when your heart beats in rhythm with compassion, you will find that Guanyin was never outside of you. He was always within you. Thank you for watching this video. If you've ever felt the presence of Guanyin in your life, through dreams, through help, through peace, please share your experience in the comments. Your story could be the lifeline someone else needs. Remember to like, subscribe, and become a channel member to help spread this sacred message. Your support makes a difference. Until next time, may every bow bring you closer to your vow, and may every breath remind you you are never alone.